Good evening, good evening, good evening. Let me make sure here whether the microphone is on. Hopefully, I'm audible. Good evening. We want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. Thank you very much for joining us here this evening, sharing your afternoons, your mornings, your evening with us. This beautiful, beautiful Thai Wednesday. Today is what? Exact 1 year of the President of the Republic of Liberia, Jose Newman Boykai, and the Unity Party government. Wow, time so quickly slip away. Hey, Mr. Famila, it's good to have you as well. Edward Bokat, Te Lion Nyakon, the Liberal Progressive. Good evening, Mr. Kamara Aliut. Mr. Fremont, good to have you here. Ty Garwindo, good to have you here. Thank you so much, all of you guys, for your commitment. Despite of the headache you receive from the likes of the liberal, the political raving, the Sisi Goyo, and Jerry Boy. Yeah, the good thing is the headache is kind of less in this few days because one of their guys, Jerry the Boishin, he having great time with Boyka. I'm surprised that he's not. Oh, in a way, yeah, he spent probably that's a party, that's a program he was talking about. He has an appointment today. I forgot completely. That was a anniversary. Maybe he had a dinner with the old man today because he's a strong ally as well. Good evening to welcome. I'm Afonso Zian Sort of the Liberal Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. We want to welcome you in tonight's broadcast right here. Good to be here. Venetia, good evening. Thank you so much. So, hopefully the analysts are going to be here and we're going to be having this conversation as well. And I hope when they come tonight, the liberal progressive, let them just outline, I'll give them the opportunity, let them just outline some of the achievements. And let him just be honest with the Liberian people. Some of the good things that have happened on this watch. He should be bold. He should be proud. I heard him yesterday crying like a little baby. And I don't know whether because the Jews, everything ran out and the little girl ended up screaming at him. Wife was mad. So all of that frustration plus what is happening to the outside world, everything just when the Harrison, good to have you here. Good evening. Abraham, so Abraham. Okay. Yeah, SS, we are the same people. So good to have all of you guys here. And we'll try to do, if anybody who just want to come on tonight as a Liberians, whether you fall against or you are free thinker or you are independent, not the liberal type of independent, but the independence of the Dr. Jones, and that's okay. If you want to come on here tonight and just talk about your country, the good thing tonight, your civil liberties restored. The liberal is not in charge. He's not going to regulate your program. He's not going to cut you off. He's not going to create a scenario where my phone battery is dying simply because you're expressing your view, your opinions about your country. So you are at liberty tonight to speak about your country, to even disagree with me as a host. You see, that's the difference with this guy. That's Dent. That's who they are. If they can't see their way, you are not part of the world. You are not part of the system. They don't recognize you. They see you as an alien. They see you as someone from a unknown country. And he feels proud doing that as his age as well. He feels very, very proud doing that. So they don't allow people to speak about their own country. Mr. Morgan, it's good to have you here this evening. Thank you so much for your commitment. You know, he looks all around to see who agrees and who doesn't agree with him. And then he gets distracted and opens another front line with the already problem that he's facing. And you saw what he did to me last night, right before your very eyes. He asked me for my closing, and he wants to regulate. He wants to babysit. How can you babysit old man like me to tell me to put words in my mouth, something that you want me to say simply? You are protecting your political godfather. He was unable to call name. Nothing wrong with calling name. I think we have to be bold. If Liberia is to be one of those nations where there's law and order, where everyone will be equally. I am aware there are class of people. That is okay. But if you listen to the liberal on this network, he finds himself in a different world. So someone in he of his age that his father now, those are the kind of thing he wants you to buy into. And he thinks that we are in the 50s or 50s or 60s. You see the reality and you want to deceive someone in this digital age. And they think we're going to sit down there and allow them to have their way. That's not going to happen. And part of that, Liberian people, how they love the power. For every time I try to push and speak my mind, we'll call board meeting. And you have the other guy there who looked like, I don't know whether he's from Lofa or where he come from, or you from or Gaza and he was born in Lofa or whatever it is. Oh yeah, we'll do this. That's who they are. Let me bring him on. I mean, he can be here and talk what I want to talk. That's who they are. And you saw what he did to me yesterday, right before your eyes. Cut me off. And you have the so-called pastor here who doesn't have a ministry, but all his preaching is on this network, and he keeps making reference to things that happened in the past when we are in the future. We are in the future. Our predictions, our aspirations, the thinking, we must focus on the future. Let the past be the history, is what history is all about. But you have these guys here, and so he has managed to recruit people of his ideologies that is sanctions our voices. But we are here to stay. But by the way, is that a coincidence? The first anniversary? What a minute. All things considered is yet. The Liberal Progressive is based in Saxton, Sacramento. Is here this evening. The Liberal, good to have you here. Good evening.
Good, Mr. Sword. Thank you for having us. We're here to have a conversation, be the counterweight on all of your view and whatever it is. We're not here. Let me first state that I'm not here representing the government. They don't know me. I don't know them. But I'm here to be truthful.
You've never been truthful on this network. You never, and there's no indication that you will ever be truthful. You've never been truthful. The audience here, they are aware, they know your behavior, they know consistently every night, and you have your folks here, some of the people that enjoys you doing what you do, they will tell you, cut me off, its time is over. And you keep eyes on those things and you implement them. So you have been very, very dishonest. With due respect, you can threaten me, you can call whatever board meeting. That is okay, because that's the only weapon you think that you have to intimidate me, to bully me, to manipulate, but that has not happened. And there's no indication that it was ever happening. Welcome.
Mr. So before you go, let me just say this about the board. We had a meeting and the board agreed the fact that LPR is flourishing under your leadership. We would allow you to go on and disparage board members and carry on the way. We will not even talk about board meeting anymore, because both the entity under their leadership were doing well. So it's a trade-off. We will let you slide. Go ahead and say whatever you want to say. The board will not say anything anymore.
Okay, hold on. I am about to call on the people that represent the broader views of this network and Liberia. people who have stood the test of time and people who are bold, who are willing to make an ultimate sacrifice for the good of their country. Even though those voices some seem them to be extreme, but I just say it as it should be. And that's where the independent voices of this network is so much important because the liberal wing, they are doing everything possible to silence. At this time, folks, I want to welcome one of the strong voices, a true son, a true liberator, a fighter, the one that is not deterred, the one that will never, never be intimidated by a group of drop out politicians from different political parties, the Boom, the Liberty Party, the non-party. Dr. Mally Jones is here, a true fighter for the good of the country. He is the co-host of the most informative news magazine, All Things Considered, volunteering, making his services available, educational analyst of the Liberia Public Radio. Dr. Jones, good to see you. Good to have you here. Today is Wednesday. It's a day of redemption. We have it in our hands. We will make use of it. We have to take our country. We have to take our network back from the hands of these. I don't want to call the way that I call people name. We will not call. We will not use it that way. Or I mean, oh man, and you just get up and just put everybody in that basket of deplorable. And then he say he was upset. A leader must be a stable leader. A leader must stand the test of time. And that's when you really know who a leader is, right, Dr. Malik? When there's crisis, a leader who will stabilize the situation, who will make the country to be at peace. What you call a leader come with 12 tanker of gasoline and then end up just burning the whole city up. Dr. Malik, good evening. Good to have you here.
Yeah, thank you, CEO. I enjoy your electrifying voice,
Yeah.
Try to shake the whole terrain. That's very good.
Can you welcome me, please?
Oh, CEO, you are most welcome. And
no, I want him to welcome. No, he needs to welcome you. I don't know why. What's funny for him?
Welcome. I think y'all want the show to start on a bad footing tonight. You better leave me alone. Let me have a show. The man who won the library to a PhD paper over there. The Lama people said, let's see the paper. Because I said, let's see your PhD. Okay, he run away and come back.
Okay, Dr. Jones, I can't leave the program with Libra. I'm getting an emergency call from Liberia. Let me just pick out the up. Dr. Jones, just take control in a.
What about Libra? You sure I went to Liberia and that happened and I came right back?
Yeah. You went over there. Oh, I was so knockout. Oh, you got PhD, WD. They said, let's see the paper. He said, oh, that my paper. He blew. He ran away.
But you see, Libra, sometimes you gotta be careful. You shouldn't allow the witchcraft to say something.
You run away from it. I thought you said you got run away from witchcraft.
And you go know your own thing disappear from your hand. You can't even know how it happened.
When I got a PhD paper, he said, "Oh, I'm coming out." But anyway,
I have to take this call. It was very, very much important. I have to take this call. This guy, he need to come on the side. Go back to your side so you communicate with Fatutu. Okay, Dr. Jones, good to have you among my mother's children. I love myself the best. Today is what, 1 year of the president, 1 year in office? President Bwaka?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, today is 1 year.
1 year in office.
I hope the Liberal will do a noble thing tonight to outline achievement. I don't know whether that's going to happen. I'm interested to see how he's going to start this. What's going to be a convincing argument? This is unbelievable to see what is happening. Did I hear him say, looking at front page, library investigators, the NSA guy is sacking him?
Yeah,
So
that
now,
one,
yeah,
that
so
one hurt.
you know, and look at the take cues from this guy here. Just how he sanctioned voices here when people speak out in public places, you are being held liable. You know, I don't know what kind of queen and all of that. You know, water dry fish iffy. But let's start with him. Liberal,
Mr. So,
good
thank
evening.
you.
You look so sad this evening. Hey, it's, Benzema, Joe, good to have you. Bidel, Joseph, good to have you. Joyce, good evening. Thank you so much for always being here as well, Madison. So let's start here. Let's count all of the good in this government, and later on, we want to transition to what at stake for the sooner. Hearing some boycott, what it means. I'm listening to some GOL supporter that says nothing. You know, they are unable to make political deal. They are unable to give. You know, they just look at one side of thing and they just think it's okay. Oh, liberal, let's have a conversation. What's going on?
Well, thank you very much, Mr. So. Good evening to all of you again tonight. Yeah, Mr. So, it's the anniversary of this president. The rescue mission, the rescue screen is on track. What I can say to you, like I said, I don't know these people. They don't know me. I'm not a spokesperson, but I'm here as a truth teller. To be honest with you, when the president came into office, Liberia and Liberians were yelling for redemption, and the president have done his best to put us on a good footing. And I give you an example. The president came and said there will be no car get stuck in 100 days, and indeed he delivered. The president came, he said after that we would make sure the road condition in the Republic of Liberia will be improved, and the president have delivered on that. Look, Mr. So the president also said during the campaign that my government will be of young people. You're not going to see old people around, and the president continued to deliver that. And I
What?
can go on and on, Mr. So. Let me finish, and I can go on and on. The president during the campaign said to many Liberians that if you elect me, I will make sure the rule and law of the Republic of Liberia is observed and respected. And the president have continued to do that. The president came and told us, on your behalf as Liberians and the people of the Republic of Liberia, I will travel all over the world to see if I can get help. And the president have done traveling. I came for help, and help is on the way. He was not being offered 1 year. They give him the opportunity. He will deliver. We are very, very sure he will deliver, Mr. So there's so many things, but I want to get all of you opportunity to speak here. There's so many things this president have done. They are yet to actually be quantified, and we will help you to quantify those things here tonight, Mr. So.
Okay. Mr. Collins, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. So. Good evening, Liberal. Good evening, Dr. Mali.
Okay.
you,
How was
man of God?
it?
I'm good, thank God.
Okay. Well, two of you guys look so you look unhappy. Your first anniversary, there should be some sort of excitement, but it looked like both of you get your hair down like the whole world is crushing on you guys. What's going on? You be honest.
CEO, I think you're going to take the blame because the electrifying introduction you made just now it actually dislocated the liberal from his part. And when Terry came in, it seems to be Terry went in to sympathize, he got caught. So just forget about it, let's move on.
Okay. So I mean he gave you know it reminds me of his own time Toll Memorial Institute that where war began those days when school closing it used to be in the night. You know, they used to have those firecrackers, you know, you can just put it on the market and think in those days people used to say recitation. The president said, we're not gonna say it. But what he didn't say, the president said, we're gonna bring scholarship, dubious scholarship, and everybody, the whole country will go nuts. The president said, yellow machine gonna come and up to this time, no head, no tail. The president, the vice president said, fixed scholarship gonna come, people pay a lot of money, and they just suspend some money for 1 week. Okay, maybe he forgot he's gonna go to that. But Dr. Mallett, on a serious note, let's have a conversation. Esther, good to have you here. Moses, good to have you. Talento from I achieved. Good morning. Good to have you here as well. So this 1 year, time goes by so fast, and we see people still fixing. I don't know what else we need. But let's look at some of the good things. We're not gonna put everything under the raw. We are not like Dan who just think everything is something. But let's look at Dr. Malis. Let's count. Is there any good thing that the liberal left out that you capture? Maybe Terry will help me out.
Well, I think first of all, we would like to thank the government under the stewardship of His Excellency President Joseph Boakai for sustaining the peace. Even though the peace is fragile, it's not the normal type of peace we have hoped for, but we want to thank his government for sustaining the peace. That alone is a success story. Yes. And next to that, it's like this government is striving to get things in place. The security is fragile, our economy is fragile, and investor coming in is a distant dream. You have the youth falling into this drugs addiction scenario. So I think the government is struggling to put things in place, and things are not easy, but I think we need to give them a little bit of credit for now, especially for maintaining the peace, even though we may agree and disagree, but I think we need to give the government some congratulatory message, especially for keeping the peace. We can leave from here, go to Liberia, get to our airport. I mean, get into a rental car or private car and go home. And you don't see people hijacking cars between Rabofi and Monrovia. So for our nature and for what we have seen in post-war Liberia, crimes are there. Impunity continue to rage on. Some people still continue to die. But all in all, I think we should accept this government from the little they have done, especially from the peace aspect.
Okay, that's quite interesting. Yeah, that's how the independent we do with the independent weight. Terry, are you trying to calculate some of the goods, or you already have them lined up? And we want tonight people want to they're going to focus on you because you are more or less the most spiritual person here. So I hope you will not be intimidated by the liberal action sending you text message not to say this because that's what he does. He likes to manipulate. He likes to kind of like people to move in his column. So I'm going to put you in a situation where you're going to talk on both because the Bible says the truth shall set them free. So I'll put you because you are perfectly suited for this sort of conversation. And in anything, even be a supervision or whatever you want to do to people, you always start from the good. You don't just go start from find the good side. Let's talk about the good side and let's see where this administration fell below the belt.
Well, thank you.
Moses, I think I sent the link. Moses, let me see. I think I sent the link to you. Oh, let me see. I'm sure. Most, I'm not sure, but let me just, Mr. Colin, hold on 1 second. I'm not sure what I sent the link to. Because you're the questions, you're plenty, so sometimes people can forget where you're. Okay, go ahead, Mr. Collins. Sorry.
Yeah, the government have restored uh, law and order, law and order to the state, wherein giving and allowing each branch of government to exercise their own rights and authority without, without directly interfering as other government did. That's a controversial statement I just made, and it will pull a lot of crap. The government have
You say you
also,
made a controversial statement?
yeah, the one I just made, I see Dr. Made laughing. So the government have done some things when it comes to not building fabulous homes within the period of 1 year as compared to previous administration, not flamboyant living, lavishing money here and there, carelessly and all that. The government have also restored calm and peace, stability to our country, wherein you are not hearing that old police brutality here and there, this other thing happening here and there. And other things with the road condition, the repairing of the roads, and people for the first time after 6 years, people could go to Grand Coup County and play around, go to the beach, look at the sea. And there are a lot of people from the diaspora going back home. Since this president became president, hundreds of thousands of Liberians going back home on a regular as compared to President Weah. It's like they were just waiting for him to become president. Liberians from the diaspora are returning home. The president.
So, are you saying we are to know Liberians are going home?
Not as the way people are going home now.
So those are going now. What are they going? What are they taking? What is the dividend to the country?
They feel safe. You don't see people come from Liberia and say, "Oh, I was robbed." I was walking in the street and I got robbed. Somebody knocked me down and they stole my money. Panic, pandemonium, fear, armed robber, all the kind of thing. One way or the other, it is under control. That is what you call restoring rule or law. You don't have disgruntled people like Jefferson Koji in the car running behind people all over the place and brutalizing peaceful citizens because they're trying to exercise their political rights, their franchise to vote or to campaign. Those kind of things, people are not being threatened. People are not intimidated all over the country and being afraid to speak. There's a freedom of speech. Everywhere you go, people can stand anywhere and talk against the government. No media station, no radio station is being intimidated or is being shut down for speaking out loudly the way you want to speak against the government. Those things are not happening under this administration. You understand that? People are free to speak. Media petition.
So when they speak, do they go freely?
Yes. Nobody. Have you ever heard journalist brutality on President Boga 1 year?
There's not only journalists in the country. I'm just asking you. Say people are free to speak. They can speak.
Citizens, have you ever heard that people spoke and the government took action against them, except somebody who working directly in government entity and said something that you're not supposed to say?
So what, Terry?
Let me also point out this. Some of the development is the budget of the government have increased to $800 million. Projected budget have gone to $800 million. Something that Samuel 12 fought for 5 years that he couldn't do. He talked about the interconnection, highway stuff, and that was never done. They never achieved that. The 5,000 teacher he never came in 6 years. Okay, we made promises about yellow machine, and it's a prospect. We were prospecting. It's a gentleman agreement that is in process. So we expect it to come anytime soon. You understand?
Which church are you pastoring in Minnesota?
You want trouble? We will give you trouble. You bring it on. You think we come to council and can't regret anything? It's not prospect. We're prospecting.
The way you're not behave to that country, it's just okay. I'm going to hold my peace here because I'm going to hold my peace.
In our campaign statement that we were bringing, we never told you our campaign statement. We never told you upon our inauguration that we're bringing yellow machine. Those were part of the process of our prospecting when we came to power to deliver. So it's in a process. So you just got to wait for it. We'll get your 6 years to deliver your interconnection. I know interconnection, how we rule. It was never done. We gave you 6 years to deliver Bali Island. Bali Island, up to now, we're still looking. The crocodiles are still there. We gave you 6 good years to face the road from the airport. Now you're not per se like you, Mr. So, but the CDC, it was never achieved. You understand? So within 1 year, people were able to travel from Monserrado County straight to Andokoya Ken or where? Conway Ken. They were able to go all the way behind, what they call it, all the way behind to Maryland. People were traveling from Monserrado County to Maryland County in the southeast. You know, even though when I went home, I wanted to go fishing there, but I was not able to go. But what I'm trying to say is that the road were reconditioned. People were going to Grand Coupe County. People were going to Grand Gila County, to your own county, the road were faced under President Boca. Even though it was temporary, but you could go there, Mr. So I remember when you came from Liberia, you were talking about, hey, the pictures and all were to the place. Not the picture now, but you talk about how, was it during Boca time you went there, when you went to Liberia?
Yeah, let me lead out of Tabata. But you didn't, before I bring you most, you didn't tell the other aspect. I said, but what is the challenge? Is there any issue you?
Yeah, the challenge is that we have is President Walker have divisive tendencies, and I think it's bad for my government. This is where I'm going to put my foot in my mouth. I'm going to take liberal. President Walker have some divisive tendencies.
Oh, he's that. Hold on one second. Yeah. Am I hearing that the President Boyka have divisive tendency?
And yes. Those tendencies can be corrected very
easily. It can be corrected, yes. He got time to rectify it.
Okay.
Yeah, but like President we had to, he has some talk, he has some things he used to
President,
do.
we had never had that kind of ability to.
I don't think that that's not what we're going to. That's not the kind of conversation.
But President Walker, to be honest with you, by now, President Walker should have created a smooth playing field between he and President Weah. These people live together. They live in the same community. Look at the funeral. During funeral stuff that when people can face their palawa. But when you mounted the podium, you didn't even call the former president by his name. How you expect to be successful as a leader? You got to rectify that. Those are divisive tendencies. Given the fact that all the impacts going on with something, you have to create an opportunity to reconcile. And you, the older man in the room, you can't be doing that. You understand? You have some divisive tendencies, and we have been making some mistakes that are not good, but those are mistakes that can be worked on. Those are mistakes that he can fix. But he have to get away with this and start reconciling the country by extending olive branches to other people like Cummings, to people like President Weah, former President Weah, creating a playing field for former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf to feel comfortable in his presence and working with him. You need advices from all walks of life to make this thing work. You have the opportunity. This is a legacy president. You got 2 former presidents honor you. Something that the late President Doe,
so quickly here,
the former Taylor did not have.
Before I shift gear to Moses here, what could you, if you were to look at his governance style, what could be the worst scenario ever on his watch in his first term that history will most likely recall?
Well, you and I know that is not hitting. The burning of the Capitol honor him. The burning of the Capitol honor him was the worst. And I believe if he had the opportunity to sit down before you now and you ask him, President Boyka, what could be your worst time ever in the past 1 year, he would tell you the burning of the Capitol, because that burning of the Capitol was a setback for his leadership. All right, it present him internationally to be a person who, you know, he was supposed to, one way or the other, and you said it on the platform, that he should have engaged the legislature earlier on. And I think if he would have settled this problem, the Capitol would not have been burned. Even if one of the representatives burned it allegedly, but the burning of the Capitol was his worst 1 year experience in his leadership that I think that could have been handled
So
before.
if I were to add to the layer in his lifetime in public service, right? Is it fair to say that?
No.
No, not in public service now, because the reason why the reason why this is a serious thing for him is because now he's president. By the time he was not president, you can blame him for,
I know
but
I'm saying all his, that's what I'm saying. I said all his life in public service. This one
yeah,
has put his
yeah,
political dent on it.
yeah, this have put a
Okay.
serious question
Okay.
on his.
All right. Moss, good evening. Welcome.
Good evening, gentlemen. How you all doing?
Good. Happy 1 year anniversary.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's count the blessings.
Yes. Yes.
What is the biggest takeaway in the first year leadership of His Excellency President Joseph Newman Boyka?
I think, in my own estimation, I believe that Liberia has so many challenges since post-war era, and it's expected. It's expected, and you got to make baby steps before you start to walk, and then you start to run. So those challenges are enormous, and we didn't expect this administration to take care of all of the things abruptly within a year. And I don't know if we think that's supposed to happen, it's supposed to make a significant impact, then I don't know why we're thinking in that direction. There's something is wrong with us to think that the challenges in Liberia could be taken care of within a year. That's what I think. This administration did not take any direct campaign strategy. They kept it open and said, we're here to rescue. And I think in the process of rescuing the folks, it comes with too many different ideas and ways to go about it. So as you make strive, you kind of create other needs to address other issues. My own problem here is that for this administration, the sense of inclusiveness, I have not seen that as much. If you're looking to rescue, and you know that most of the people that you have in your administration are people who have always been in Liberia, I'm not sure what they're coming with. What new ideas are they bringing? If you're going to rescue your people, you need new ideas. And I think every developing nation, most democratic nations, look to do best practices from other places. They usually have these think tanks that sit down and think about some of these issues specifically, as in the case of Liberia, healthcare, security, rule of law. You put, different groups together to really study those things, come up with serious recommendations on how to tackle it, at least to put a dent in them. And I think that this government needs to look at the sense of inclusion, especially for people from the diaspora, to see how they can assist in this regard to rescue our people.
So let me ask you there here, and I want to say good morning to my senior brother right there in the nation's capital. I find it a little bit difficult in your explanation. Do you think the word rescue has it been fully decoded by the United Party or the president himself?
Well, with all fairness, rescue has to do with a process. It doesn't, from my own estimation, it doesn't have direct. It doesn't have to be done with directly. I think there's a process, and the process is ongoing. The process has to be ongoing. You cannot rescue pretty much the country Liberia from just one fix. There's so many challenges, as I said earlier. If you're going to rescue people, you got to look at all the tentacles of problems that you have and attack them individually and you got to have the resources to do so. What Liberia lacks is the human resource, and we should be serving our human resources. You know, and I always tell my friends when we go to Liberia, if you have expertise in engineering, you have expertise in law enforcement, you have expertise in any area, in counseling, go to the university, volunteer your service. They got so many universities there. Volunteer your service, you know, host a lecture. Just to
Okay,
get
let me
some new
Let me,
perspective.
all right, hold on there. Let me let's have a sort of,
So you're gonna
you know,
cut me off.
I am?
You're gonna cut me off now. You're you're the independent
Your
man.
time is over. I gotta bring in my co-host.
Okay.
But I thought it was supposed to be me before him.
My time's over.
We don't conduct program here with our thoughts. We have our program as a plan it should be. So if you thought
Okay.
your thought about thought,
I will follow up the next time.
okay, tell us. We are very rational here when we
time
do
from the
control. Now,
last
when you guys are in control, okay, 30 seconds. Wrap. Let it private jet touchdown.
No, that's okay. I'll save it for later. I know we're gonna go into specific.
So I would take his place and
No,
say
no,
this.
no. That's not how we. No.
Wait a minute, Lpr, you already owe me time. You want to take some of my time again?
There you go.
You owe me time from the last time.
So, Dr. Mali, Dr. Mali.
Yes.
One of the words that has become a frequently used word of lately is this. You know, we have challenges. It takes time. I'm not sure how often this word was used a couple of years or plus ago. It has become a friendly word to commentators, political pundits, as another way now to protect their own Goliath. You heard the Reverend Collins. You heard a liberal progressive. You heard a guy from Joe Biden's said it's another liberal. So this war has become a friendly war to them. But you listen to the three gentlemen here. Let me just bring you. Do you think they are actually in real Liberia? Are they communicating with real-time Liberians who really want to know what is happening to their country with respect to how their leader leading and how they make these administrative policy? Are they being very fair to them, you think?
Well, I just want to, the answer is no. And secondly, I just want to take our three partner on the tour.
Let's take a ride.
Yes, let's take a ride. Maybe they have forgotten when His Excellency.
How long is this ride?
How many meetings you giving him for you to ride here?
Gentlemen,
As they would take.
Gentlemen, the description is with the moderator to
as long as they
determine
would
either
take.
you follow up with the-
We only need gasoline.
That's it.
Yes, I want to take some retrospection. I've been following His Excellency when he was running his campaign, especially when he appeared on the Arise FN Nigerian station in Nigeria on an interview. And so many things were raised. And three things caught my eye during his interview. He said the Liberian challenges were not strange to him. He's aware of what he was getting into. He also said when he wins, corruption will be the issue of the past. He said it on a radio station. He also said the outgoing government will be audited. He did not say some segment of the government will be audited. He said the outgoing government will be audited because they need to be accountable. So back to your question, CEO, when we start using the word rescue and the word challenges, it baffled me because the president answered all these questions before he even took his official seat at the executive mansion. So when we start talking about challenges at this time, it baffled me. But I also like to agree with the security analyst, he struck a point. And the point he struck here is that when you use the word rescue, you're bringing people together to give you something new, something proactive, something we have not seen before, something that we can look at and say, oh, yes, this is indeed a rescue government. But I think that word was used loosely, unknowingly, and was misapplied because it is not in conjunction with the day-to-day running of the Republic of Liberia. For instance, I see institutional indiscipline going on in our country. You see, then that means the executive mansion is either mismanaging discipline or they have compromised discipline. Example, when the commerce minister went into his fiasco, as usual, he was just asked, he resigned, and they let him go with anything he had with him. Those were things we saw in the past.
So quickly, I hate to interrupt. Can we then say can we equip that another way of like giving free stuff to people? Take whatever you have and just bless the people, and that is okay.
This is exactly CEO. This is exactly the playbook of Joe Weah. Joe Weah playbook is resurrecting in this government in many areas. Many areas. All right. So the rescue syndrome or the rescue gospel had not been felt yet.
How many meetings we get for the
in the first place?
tonight?
In the first place,
Jesus.
the fragility of the government from CDC to Unity Party is still the same. 2, the finance minister, according to sources, was pressed to resign. He was never investigated. The public works minister danced into $22 million with all consulting parliament. What did the president, what did he do? 0. He said corruption was going to be the thing of the past. I never wanted to go there, right? But we have to go there now. He said corruption was going to be the thing of the past when he wins. Now corruption has become the thing of the present. That's disappointing. The auditing of the government, it was only limited to 4 segments of the past government. So tell me now, is there rescue? Like what the security analyst said, we were looking for something strange. We were looking for something new. We were looking for something innovative.
You better not show up on show tomorrow.
That is, you see, so all these things are conspicuously missing in the 1 year.
Look at that.
I can only praise His Excellency.
Mr. So I need to respond.
For maintaining the peace. I want to thank him for maintaining the peace. All right? There are so many unfinished businesses under His Excellency. All right? The inauguration report is still hanging in there. The soldiers' demonstration is still hanging in there. The defense minister who was removed, what happened? They see we are playbook. He was sent to NSA. So what are we talking about here?
Did I think what we tire suffering, so you see these people, they wave a white flag to bad governance, bad behavior. My understanding with tire suffering is bad.
Let me just learn. And the men of God even decided to put in the issue of the president being divisive. I don't want to disagree with the men of God. The president, he's a virtue, his leadership virtue. He's very passionate, sympathetic, kind, soft-spoken. But the problem here is that the president lacked this political sophistication to run the government.
43-year experience.
Okay, the 43-year experience is not being felt in the life of the people of Liberia.
I give up.
The road are going from Monrovia to Ravafi. Who started the road? Up to today, in 1 year now, the road is incomplete. Look, we can go on and on and on. I'm coming, security analyst. I know
who started the road?
That's what I'm saying. I said it started by Weir or
No.
Henning.
Ellen started the road.
Okay, but then
So
1
why
year.
are you gonna stay 1 year?
Listen now. 1 year. You want to tell me 1 year that road in that swamp road? Even
What
all
about
the
12?
engine.
What about
Listen now. No security
what about
analysts.
18 years?
Security
6
analysts.
6
Security
plus 6,
analysts.
12 plus
I
6.
know
So-
you're that hard. Even the engineer, our most outstanding engineer, has given all on Joseph Braga on that road.
The political engineer.
The political engineer. He has given all on Joseph Braga on that road. Thank you, CEO.
Okay, I didn't hear you talk about the.
Mr. So, I need to. You can't go back to him. You can't
No,
do
he's
this.
not. He's telling the truth.
This is unbelievable, unacceptable. You have me. You think I'm just here as a window dressing here tonight? Is that what you brought me here for? What is this? I've been here now going to almost 30 minutes without uttering a word, and you're gonna sit here and expect me to be quiet on this here? Unacceptable. Unacceptable. Let me just say this here, Mr. So. Again, my own brother Tommy, thank you. This is how you got one to up on blind no America. That's what I'm telling you right now.
This is going to the extreme now, CEO.
Yeah.
You're speaking your dad and I getting tough. No, but no.
No, Mr. So, let me reply to Dr. Melly on a very serious note. And then, my other young man that keep writing here, but today, right, come and call my sister, they come and block you going to the house. Right, the president is the president, right? Good thing about the president, right? But let me say this here, Mr. So, look, on a very serious note, Dr. Melly, unbelievable that you will come out after 1 year of this president taking office, that you will try to wrap all of these unbelievable things around him. This is what you need to understand, first of all. Those of us that support this president, when we see it wrong, we will call it out. Now, when the president took office, you knew where the country was in negative, around negative 25. So for the president to come back to zero, he has to work positive 25. In order for him to come back to zero line. What you're talking about?
Was he here?
Dr. Mali, the liberal is on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
When you asked that question, then in the interest of fairness, then he will have to respond.
No. Don't make me go on outside now. I don't want to start trouble between two of you. Your friend, if you did, I don't say anything. Y'all keep it that way. Because if I put my foot inside, okay, of course now.
Go ahead, you got to tell us second. I want to tell you.
Okay, hold on. Let me finish my point. Why y'all want to disturb me anyway? So let me just say this. On a very serious note, we do agree that there are some challenges, and we use the word challenges not because we're trying to avoid or trying to deviate from leadership position or the leadership ability of President Bakai. We use the word challenges because truly there is, because the past government have put so much roadblock in the way of this government to function properly. So first of all, the president is staying within the confines of the ruling law. And therefore, you don't see him giving out executive order as though he's giving out Christmas presents. He tried to follow the rules. And this is exactly what he's doing. Now, you talk about other policy or other infrastructure process. And we do agree that there are some things. But let me just tell you this. Those who started the process, and the president is trying his best to clean up so he can start his own. Mr. So please, let me finish my point.
No. That's not. It's not a storytelling.
Okay. Let me finish my point.
I'll tell it. 10 seconds, please. I gotta go to Terry.
Mr. So, you people cannot come out here and organize yourself as a beautiful independent show hosting to try and block off for us not to respond to your ridiculous accusation here. Give us the opportunity so we can disabuse you on these ridiculous point you're making here against this president and this government. Those of us that support this government, we are saying to you,
let me just tell you, I get a Gaza system when people talk. You know, my own, it's not a Chinese phone, but it's a Gaza system when talk.
So why were you trying to take me out of my beautiful point that I'm making here, just so that you would distract me? Okay, you and your co-host, you go ahead. I will reply to you tomorrow. Go ahead.
Okay, Terry. You listen to Dr. Malit. You listen to your guy. I don't know. There are a lot of things. You know, these are critical conversation, and we want to have it in the open faction, to have this sort of conversation. Now, I think the liberal that he failed for 6 times using challenges. We, you know, there are challenges. We are aware. But these words were, for the most part, they were amazing. I think this president more or less to kind of like get himself crowded and wanted to be so spontaneous to get the support of the people and crowded his administration, his policy to get things done fast as the coup wanted it to be. Like in the case of CDC, that's why it's happening. Just grab things here and there. We saw him showing his shoulder with this whole vaccine viral, launching big drug thing. We don't know the end. How many person was infected? How many person were benefited? And what is why help government is given to these people? But other than that, they just end up putting more viruses in people because we don't know where these people coming from, whether they are independent laboratory folks that come in to do these tests, and then we can't show their arm, president show their arm, people should do this, give ultimatums for people to declare their assets. Ultimatum has expired since then. The president is not acting. I think these are fair conversations for us to talk about. Let me just ask you this question, and I want you to be very honest. Do you think was there any crime that warrant investigations or any crime committed by the previous government?
Mr. So, I'm one of those who supported and said, if you go back to the time the president, we are congratulated him. And I said that there are several things President Walker need to do within the first year. Otherwise, he will start to lose his popularity with the people. And one of those things was to audit the previous government. But here is the thing here. President Walker did initiate and have been initiating audits, but you still got we still got CDC government official working in the judiciary. So they are stalling the process. The Papa initiated an executive order with the asset recovery team. The asset recovery team initiated the job only for the Supreme Court to put them on a stay order. These people are still on a stay order. They call the case again for hearing.
So did I hear you saying that the CDC Supreme Court is that what
Yeah.
What I'm trying to tell you is that the system is inherently corrupt. And yes, we have rescue. A rescue is a temporary effect. It's not something that you do permanently. We were rescuing the government from a downtrading wherein our economy was going down to the dream.
So is it fair to say the current police is Joseph Boyka police of what his name said, Greco Como?
What? Greco Como is not Joseph
Boyka.
Is
it fair to say the current police, the LNP, is that Joseph Boyka police of Greco Como? Is it fair to say that as well?
Well, you can say if you want to, but I would not say that.
I'm just asking you based on what you said. I'm just asking whether it is fair to say that.
That's what I'm saying. You have the right to your opinion. But for me, I will not say that because I'm seeing some level of transparency in this police as compared to previous police officers. But there was something that Tomale said that I want to also go. I want to speak again when he talked something he talked about the divisiveness that I talk about, the divisive tendencies, right?
Yeah.
President Boca, if he don't have divisive tendencies, he would have called the name of President Weah at the funeral. He did not. President Weah was sitting right closer to him. He could have called the name. If he didn't have divisive tendencies, he would have engaged this particular impasse earlier on that would not have led to the burning of the Capitol. The lack of reaching out early was a problem for him. Number one. Number two, the impasse took place and he should have left the legislature to fight their own battle. Instead, we see him calling what he name Rachel Kuhn to ride with
So,
him to Ghana.
so meaning, Mr. Collins, from what I'm sensing out from you, the president is in the know. The president is involved. The president was intruded into the first branch of government that get us to this point. Correct?
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is he could have handled this issue from a place wherein engaging, because the legislature is a body of their own. But Fonati Kofa is the speaker. Fonati Kofa and him went to Europe together. They met the Pope and all of that. But when the impasse occurred, he did not initially engage, which of course we expected him to have done it. But again, for political reason, maybe his party people advised him not to engage. And because of that, he allowed Fonati to drown. That is divisive. That is divisiveness. He could have engaged it. He could have called Rachel Kuhn and said, Rachel Kuhn, disembark. Rachel Kuhn, like we said on the part, Rachel Kuhn disembark. And Rachel Kuhn could have disembarked. And then, worst of all, even if he didn't call Rachel Kuhn, if he reached to the place where Rachel Kuhn and said, we really don't want this man, we want to get rid of him. Fine. Okay, you started working with them, the government, your people, the executive. But you started taking some steps that made us to feel that it is divisive, because you started withdrawing for Nati Kofa, most of the things. You started traveling with Richard Kuhn. You call Richard Kuhn in the airplane and carry him to Ghana with you. Okay, I agree. The Ghanaian people wrote a letter. All those things could have been done behind the scene. But you started calling Richard Kuhn to join you in the plane and travel with you, in front of the whole world like that. I think that was not
so. Okay, so all right.
And I think it was careless.
Let me break in liberal here. From all what I'm hearing, like just a boycott and a unity party all help to facilitate what is going. Liberal, do you agree with Terry that the president is divisive?
Well, those are his views. And who am I to say he does not have the responsibility or does not have the right to express his view? He does. However, I would say this, President Barkai, why I do not agree with many of the things, I will continue to say that most of the time, when he come across as such, he is simply trying to admonish his young people, his children, to do well. Now, Mr. So, let me just say this here quickly. President Barkai, as far as I see, is that he is trying his best. This is what you need to understand. What exactly President Barker have to lose at this time? Most likely, he's not going to seek re-election. So, is there somebody who is then to say, "I want X amount of money"?
Wait
No.
a minute. No. When you
Mr.
say
So,
that,
can I finish my statement, please?
okay, go ahead.
And then
No,
you can answer.
because why you telling us? You are simply telling us these people are looting. These people are doing things deliberately, and because he's simply not going back, so they don't
No,
care. They are building their retirement.
Mr. So, we have to watch. President Barker has gotten the opportunity to view his players, to view the players at the same time, hopefully, watching on the bench, who's sitting, who is getting ready. So we have to give him that opportunity, let him show us as Liberian. If he would go with a round of judge, we have 12 years, no reshuffle, we will see. But the point that I'm making here is this. President Barker, since we all know that, and I truly believe he's not going to seek re-election. And therefore, I believe that he will not to sit by for people to try to ruin his legacy. If he's not going to seek for re-election, then he's a legacy president. And therefore, he will do all he can to protect his legacy. And those of us who support him will do all we can to protect his legacy. And I'm saying to you here, not because I'm supporting him, blind loyalty or whatever.
But
No,
that's exactly what you are doing.
Mr. So
All
you
you are doing is to
cannot,
provide
you
protection.
cannot,
You're
you
being
cannot
very
assume,
dishonest.
you cannot assume that I'm speaking with dishonest on my mind. That's an assumption. But yet again, you are entitled to that. You can express it as you want it, say it, whatever it is. But I believe what I'm saying, that President Wakai will do all he can to make sure that these young people, the young generation that will be coming to lead Liberia, that indeed there's a green path for all of them to come and enjoy his legacy. Mr. So,
This
President
is
Wakai
ridiculous.
is not somebody. This is where the 49 years experience is coming to play. Yes, there
Yeah.
has been some stuff that happened on his watch that none of
Yeah.
us are happy about. However, he is still working to make sure
Okay.
these things are resolved.
Okay. Mose, let me just pick the caller there. I come to you, okay? Yeah, the 49 years experience coming into play by binding the first branch of government. And
You
at the
have
end of
no
the day, we get
evidence.
us
You
to
have
the-
no evidence, mind you. You have no
Okay,
evidence. Speculation.
Era, let's hear you. Era, are you there? Aaron, are you there?
You can't speak now.
Aaron, I'm not getting you.
Aaron is off.
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah. What is
Okay. Yeah, how you doing, Mr. So? Good evening. Good evening to all the panelists.
Good to have you.
Yeah. Let me just make some points on the discussion tonight. Great discussion. Let me first of all start with Mr. Terry, the biblical. The pastor is being so ridiculous tonight because he confusing himself. If you come out and say this president does not interfere with any other branch of government, and then you turn around and come on and say the president should have intervened with what will happen between Richard Poole and Fanati Kofa on the speakership, you're confusing yourself, Terry. You see, to defend lies is very, very hard. Everybody knows the president instigated try to remove Speaker Kofa. First time in the history of Liberia since the president started giving solar, that probably over half of the legislators would not be there. It will be the first time. It's all because of this government taking sides. Okay? The next thing, if you come out to say that the government improved the budget, check from President Weah. I don't like to make comparison between President Weah and President Bwaka. Former President Weah and President Bwaka, because I know it's not irrelevant. But if you check, every year the budget went up. That's progression. You expect for President Bwaka to come in and the budget goes down? No. If they increased the budget, it was because of the work that the past government did. That's the reason why they increased in revenue. The amount of corruption that's going on in this government. When somebody listed half of them, what's the investigation? From the Minister of State down to the First Lady office. Even the president went out there to put out a scholarship scam. And you want to sit on the show and talk about President Baka first year, when I let President George we have first year.
Okay.
For $16 billion. You know how much is $16 billion? Liberian dollars? You know what it would have done to the Liberian economy if somebody took $16 billion Liberian dollars? Look, I mean, I don't want to even comment on what the liberals saying because, I mean, both of them, they always come on issue and be dishonest. When you always show this guy, I don't even let the call. Thank you.
Something.
I number 9, you don't
go
call
ahead.
my show, you will not bring my show down.
All right, let me just say a few things out of the conversation that is going on. It is unfair to our Liberian people and to our listeners to equip 1 year of Buckhannon administration with 12 years of Ellen Johnson Sirleaf and 6 years of George Weah. Things that are supposed to happen in our country would take time. Number one is that when Ellen got to power, she had the support that we don't see today in Liberia of the international community, and her security forces included foreign securities. Bunker doesn't have that. He had everything from scratch. We didn't have what Ellen had. So to sit here in 1 year with 18 years of 2 ex-presidents, I think it's unfair to this administration, number one. Number two is that I heard your CEO ask Collins, the Reverend there, if you can call the police or Buckeye police because he equipped whatever happened during Weah administration. What we don't have is a system in our country. So when new government come in to follow,
do you agree with me or not?
Let you. No, I don't agree with you because
not me.
The institution of security is not for a particular political party or a particular person. Yes, Mr. Bunker has the right to appoint an administrator who provide logistical needs for the police department to function.
So
that doesn't mean that the police officers as trained as an institution are responsible to Buckeye alone.
So but that's what I'm asking, because that's what I found. I found that interesting for Terry to say the CDC or George Weah judiciary system. So that prompted me to ask the question, because if there's a vacuum, the president has the right under the Constitution to make that appointment.
I'm coming to that, CEO. I'm coming to that. As I've stated before, we have 3 equal branches of government. But what we have built is an imperialist system in Liberia where we give the presidency absolute power over the other branches. We saw it in Elliott administration. We saw it in George Weah administration. Now, I'm speaking in regards to post-war, but I know that some of these things happened before the coup. It was an ongoing thing. The president had total power, and it's been the culture of our country.
Okay.
Under democracy. Wait a minute now. I just started talking. You stole some of my time. Because I'm making points that you want to take.
Answer my question. I ask you a question.
Okay, what's the question?
Do you agree with Terry, or you want to distance yourself from Terry?
Do I agree with Terry about what?
Terry said the judiciary is George Weah judiciary. So then my question back to him was: is it fair then to say the LNP is Joseph Boyka LNP, or maybe unless you want me to use different thing?
No, it's not fair.
I don't
agree with him.
Okay.
I don't agree with him because we need to build institutions, and that's what's lacking. Now, the reason why we have this kind of system in our country is because almost everybody that comes in is compromised. And it's been a culture built in Liberia. I owe you something, you owe me quick pro quo.
All right, I will come back to you guys. Let me go to the phone lines here, and then I'll come back to Dr. Malice. Taking good notes because I want him
You see, when we make a point now, you don't want to hear, then you go to full call.
You're giving part of excuses here tonight. The other man, I'm going
to
grab the juice cup. You come and start talking to real Tabata now. When you see me with a juice bottle, then I tell you right to leave.
I'm telling you,
okay, Elvis, let's hear you quickly.
That we need to build systems.
Okay, Elvis.
And I think that system.
All right, thank you, Mr. Stone. And hello to you, hello to the panelists. Look, I don't know. Sometimes I don't know if Terry can be playing with us or he's serious. I think sometimes he can be joking. It was a hard joke to be telling us when you talk about the accomplishment of this government. But let's be sure, you know, everything that George Weah did, that what Joseph Boyka trying to do, but he's trying to do it illegal. He's not even trying, he's doing it illegally. He wants to have free sales to be able to pass, you know, to handle money in that country without any kind of pushback. What he did, he took J.R. Rochester from the central bank illegally, removing from there, suspending him indefinitely, and then negotiated his exit. Boom, removed from there. It comes to the LRA guy, President Weah wanted to put somebody there, they refused to let him put somebody there after the guy died, after Donald died. Whether took that position, put somebody there. The Speaker of the House who handled the budget and who debate the budget, he removed him from there illegally, he put somebody there. So this president is, I mean, somebody said it the other day, he's showing dictatorial tendencies. And nobody would have expected it from Joseph Boyka, in all honesty. Nobody would have expected it.
Wow.
Maybe during the time when he served on the assignment, during the million, no corporal, maybe he rather thought he was a military man. He's moving like a military man.
He was a
moving like a
major,
gangster.
captain or major.
And LeBron is full of gangster. He's not the only one. So if he doesn't fix his, I'm guessing the next few years will be better for him because now he will have the country's money without anybody pushing back. He have all his cronies there, and maybe he will be able to do all the things he wants to do. Maybe he'll put money there to buy a yellow machine to do all those things he want to do. Nobody will stop him. So, Terry, be honest. I know you'll be honest later on in the show, but continue on that path. Don't go watching, my brother.
Thank you so much. Clarence, let's hear Clarence David. Clarence is a strong supporter of the Liberal, so I wouldn't be surprised here when he be so ridiculous here like the Liberal here tonight. Clarence, good evening.
You see what you can
Hey,
do?
Mr. Paul, how you doing?
Good. Give your papa,
There's a
give your
political
papa, let's
journalist.
give your papa a quick grade for this.
He's a political journalist.
I gave you 10.
10 what? 10%?
10 out of 10.
From 1 to 10, I gave you 10.
Okay. I gotta go to the next caller.
Oh, wow.
You too. How are you? Justify your 10. Go ahead.
You know, Mr. Soda, Labor was saying something, but you are not paying attention to this. The problem with the government, people can just say that they owe me experience, you're not the economy, you're not doing that, you're not taking oversight. You have 24 political parties that join Unity Party that make Joseph Boyka the president. And so what would they kind of group? There's people in Kenya with different behavior. And so what would they had their own supporter, they had their people who supported them in Kenya to join Unity Party. You can't just take everybody from that and just restore Unity Party on board. It will cause disaster that what happened in CDC when they begin to start around the NPP, PDP, and other political parties. We see the mistakes that have been made, but we still have a chance to make correction. And to look at the leader with the experience, to look down on that leader and say the leader doesn't know what he's doing, he's causing problems, he's doing that. You know, it's surprising. Because you're not
you see, Clarence, you are trying to find a shelter here, and we do not have no place to store. And this is another story here. You're simply telling us because, of course, because they couldn't win it by themselves. Everywhere political, there will be always alliances. But when at the end of the day, he who is the head you governs, it's not an excuse. So you are trying to tell me here when everything goes bad tomorrow, you say, oh, the other people they brought because they are not United Party people. They're the one causing the trouble, or they are the one being corrupt. Is that what you're telling us here tonight?
No, what I'm saying, whatsoever the unit does, the leader is held responsible. But at some time here, like Grace said, we should sort of look at the good thing that happening in the government. And one of the good things I like about this station now like a sister station that can just fabricate news. When I say fabricate news, we can remember when the corruption went on to the vice president, to the president White Office, the verified statement they made, it said only 50,000 were scholarship. And we got to know a lot was just 4,000. With this station, you can come up with a real the real something that happened in the news. You can make fabricate. It's a thing that we are seeing. Like you are expressing that this is the passion for what is happening in the country. But look, we should not compare 6 years with 1 year because the LPR never did any kind of proof that they're doing Jamaica to say don't compare Jamaica for 4 years with only 4 years. What are they? What are you doing? All the platforms doing that to Jota Baka? They think it's Jamaica 6 years now to compare with Jota Baka 1 year.
That's not what we're doing here. If you heard me here from the onset, I say it's 1 year anniversary. So we try to profile some of the things, and indeed, bad things happen in the first 1 year. I am hoping that he will improve on it. He will be more administratively strong to take some decisions. For example, the capital building thing is one of the worst things. We didn't see that coming from on his watch.
Why do we blame Bunker for that?
Mr. So, this is why I said from the beginning. He's had different good at John you. Now, don't compare New Party government with our present situation in America here. When the President Trump took over, he brought a lawyer, he get those two by him to make government work. This is not what happening to us. We have people who sympathize, we have people who join us. We try to
let me go to the next question. So you're simply telling me the people you brought on board, the people that join you, they're the one causing problem for our country, correct? Is that what you're saying, Clarence?
Listen to as a father of a nation, the only will not see everybody that join him because they think that the young receive something. Malaka benefit from uncle. They say that father Malaka benefit. If you continue with that kind of, you know how many membership that you'll be losing? You know how many group that you'll be losing for your group?
Really?
So it's difficult. It's difficult. So my suggestion here tonight, the president should move from here share and see above the ring.
You were in the shell before. Okay.
Jacob, Mr. Todd, let me please end this one here.
Okay.
This is a party, this is a government, but the party can continue, they can look at the leader and tell the leader that this one is not correct. This thing never happened in CDC government. The right person, the release are blind loyalists.
Okay.
But today, United Party member can look at the president and say, Mr. President, this one is not right. Tomorrow we should applaud you for that. Thank you for the show.
All right. Wow, we're in a serious trouble.
I mean, a long time to talk.
I'm not a liberal fans. You see, this is an open network with us. This is how we believe people should talk about the country. If they are your friend tonight, long time, he say he phone get Channing here, and you let's go to 203 number 9037. Are you there?
Yes, sir. Thank you, the great host, CEO Independent, and I'd like to say hi to all of the other panelists.
Okay.
Yes.
Carry on.
The other Tapata panelists on this platform, the wannabe celebrity, and all that.
You will show up tomorrow. I will catch you.
Politician. Be politician also.
Yeah, the message you will catch. The message you will catch you tomorrow. You may let me in there. Be there. I see why he and Bamwaka friendly. They never been there.
Yeah. No, Terry, I will understand the liberal position. I can understand Terry. I don't know Terry flip-flopping or eating both sides of his mouth. I don't understand. How can you come here and tell me President Bouaka is not interfering or did not interfere in the other branches? The first thing, let me bring you back on history lane, of memory lane. You remember the man they call Bushben Keita? Who is Bushben Keita and where does he work? Who does he work for? Bushben Keita worked in Liberia, worked at the executive mansion, worked in the president's office. He is the legal advisor to the president. Bushben Keita, in his own word, it's not they say, it's not Wilton say. Bushben Keita called the judge in court or whoever in court, called and told the president to drop the case between Prophet Key and what her name, the former culture ambassador Julie Andy. Is that not an interference of the executive into the judicial branch of government?
Oh
is
my
that
God!
Interference?
Oh my goodness!
So And on numerous occasions, things happen in Liberia concerning President Bouaga overreach or using the executive to melt into the other branches to do. Even to the extent where he was sending his executive member to the how you call it, majority black, the renegade lawmakers, for them to go for hearing. Those things we were doing, it was complete interfering with different branches of government function. All right. But let's look at what Bouaga did in recent time. Today, as a matter of fact, as my brother said, or even Evans said, the dictatorial tendency that is creeping in our society. Don't you know they have passed a new law? In fact, order now, not even law, order. Any other vehicle that try to pass when the president is passing, they will be eliminated, they will be killed, they will be neutralized.
What?
Neutralized. Yes. They came from the president, the EPS. Any vehicle or anybody who ever attempt when the president passing to come around that place, they will be killed. They make the word beautiful, they say they will be neutralized, but that word means killed. We didn't see it all in the other president in time, brother. What was going on? It was any vehicle that will get opportunity to pass, like if, for instance, an ambulance that will carry somebody sick, they will allow that ambulance to go because it's an emergency. All other vehicle, you're done. They're going to eliminate you. We are talking about something dangerous happening in our society. We are talking about people who even talking and the NSA calling them now to question. People who go to funeral and say, my leader died because he was under pressure. They call him now and fire him for a job. All right? They're hunting people. You find an excuse, you try to link our lawmakers because you said fire happened on the 19th, but an NSA man sent a text to the lawmaker, say be careful, or the police trying to track it down on the 6th. On the 6th,
Okay.
people also ask what is happening in our society, you guys cannot see.
All right. Terry, not Terry, Keto, you can stay on. So I hope you can stay on. You
really want him to stay on?
He's an analyst here. I'm not going to be like the liberal. He's an analyst.
Do you really want him to stay on? I guess you accommodated the rhetoric he just put out there.
And that's what I'm saying. You should stay on, and then you have the time to respond.
Do you say things that and don't equip it with Ellen?
CEO, we got to move on. We got to make progress.
Come on, but what I'm saying, Moses, he's an analyst here, so I'm not going to be like a liberal where when analysts call, then he gives person 1 minute. Oh, you're talking about Chinese.
I will go on the line. I will go on the line listing. I will list it when I enter. I will call back in to get my closing.
You are
so they can satisfy them because I'm not too good right now.
Okay, so Dr. Mali.
Yes.
Here we are. The guy from Delaware tonight. His position is pretty clear.
You talking about the chief security analyst?
The chief security analyst went from Delaware near Joe Biden. Let's see why they pushed Biden out in the after that debate. I think he was providing some sort of consultancy or whatever there. But look, honestly, as we're about to wrap out, we don't just discuss the bad things. We also will talk here. We'll make recommendations, and we want, in the interest of fairness, let's open this camera out to the liberal, to Terry, to Mose. We're not taking phone call here again. Dr. Mali as well. What could be the recommendations into the 101 of this president? Now they are, we're hearing these sort of words now. Too soon. Challenges, try to modify words as another way to accommodate all of these million excuses. We don't have time for that. The country, when you take over as a president, get the country running. All right. So let's say you're providing consultancy to this administration. What would you recommend to them? What do they need to really work on?
Before I answer that question, CEO, let me just push back a little bit on something the security analyst said. I think we need to set the record straight.
All right, go ahead.
We are not comparing Joseph Boakai 1 year to he and Salif 12 year, or we are 6 year. The government in power right now is the Unity Party Part 2. We want to set our record straight. This is the Unity Party continuation Part 2, headed by the former vice president who is now president. I want to get our record straight tonight. 2, we the Daha, you're the Daha. Have you asked yourself why is it that Joseph Boakai refused to audit their 12 years? It's a question you need to ponder over. Back to your question, CEO. If I were to ask or to advise His Excellency on a few things, a quarter said this party brought together other people to build an alliance. Yes, that's true. But at least we forget the president is the captain of the team. He can fire and he can hire. So no alliance member is down there dancing on his own just to make the government to look bad. Joseph Boakai would not tolerate that. So I disagree when things are going wrong. People say it's an alliance government. No, it's not an alliance government. Joseph Boakai is an experienced man. And he has 40 years under his sleeves. It's the 40 years have been felt in the lives of the people 1 year ago. Hardship still permeate the society. Crime still permeate the society. Culture of impunity still permeate the society. All right. So there are so many things in Georgia. We have to play ball. I see a resurrecting in this administration. So if I were to advise His Excellency, first of all, I would advise him to carry on a massive reshuffle for 2 reasons. 1, we need innovation. Are we seeing it from any of his team member? The answer is no. Even the city corporation that's supposed to take care of sanitation. Just how Liberia was filthy under His Excellency, former President Weah, Liberia is still filthy under His Excellency Boakai. Are there new ideas for city corporation? No. So he one of those that need to go. The Liberal said His Excellency brought together young people. That was the mistake he made. You can't bring young people to power who are impoverished.
Would you bring a young man?
No, that's what the Liberal said. He said His Excellency brought together young people. That's what he said. His own words. And if we should go by what he said, young people coming to a political portfolio can be dangerous. Because I don't know what they're really bringing to the table. Again, bringing the old people to the table, the old hands, because what I know about what Joseph Boakai did, he brought in a lot of old guys from the Unity Party Part 1. Okay? So if the Unity Party Part 1 performed so miserably, where he served as a vice president, and bringing half of those ministers over into his tenure as president, the end result is we know what the end result is supposed to be. We don't need to call it.
Okay.
All right. So
all right.
That would be the first thing I would advise the president to do.
We don't want your advice. Keep it to yourself.
That's what they don't learn. They don't take instruction from people. All the good advices he giving, maybe Terry will take it. Not a liberal.
Let me say something here, Mr.
And
So
lastly,
there's no last thing. Yeah, man.
Liberal.
Oh God. There's no last name. How would you say there's no last name? The man is speaking. This is a
Lastly,
co-host.
liberal. I'm sure you cannot put wax in your
Let me just tell you,
ear.
don't
You gotta
show
listen.
your face on a man tomorrow because everything you're gonna waste on you. Don't show face on
No,
a
I know
man
you're
tomorrow.
going to take me from the link when I come to me tomorrow. I don't care.
I will send it to you. You said I will send it. Okay, look, yeah, liberal. Well,
Yeah, let me say this, Mr. So.
No, I
what
said
is bringing
lastly, CEO.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, that's a co-host.
But that's
Yeah.
not happening too.
You cool, he's still on it. You giving him opportunity to continue the tapata. And Dr. Mali, you too, you're gonna come back again and talk some more.
To really be friend with you, let's be serious about this. A lot of people are finding problem with His Excellency government in the first 1 year for 3 reasons. They still see some of those little things that were happening in Georgia government surfacing in this government. I think that's where the frustration is coming from for some people. You see? So we expected this government to depart from all those little things.
Which
You
is
see? So there where I think the frustration is coming from, and people are not ready enjoying the development, like well, Mr. Semple said, that innovation, something new, something different. People are not seeing it. The tabletop issue, the hardship in Morovia is still there. It was there in Georgia time. It's still there. You see, I think these are the little frustration that people talking about.
Yeah.
Thank you, CEO.
Let me say this here very quickly.
You gotta wait for your turn. See, I mean, liberal.
It is my turn. Let me say this here. We can't come on this platform where you have right now, you have over 500 people are listening to us. And you have Walter Carter will come up here and make some ridiculous claim, and you refuse to push him on it. It is ridiculous. With the EPS letter or the public announcement that he's talked about, this is what it says here. It said the Executive Protection Service wishes to alert the general public to heighten the safety measures surrounding the president and the vice president convoy in light of increasing intrusion and unsafe behavior by unauthorized motorists, emergency vehicle, and pedestrian. Now, the word he used here, he said this, and I will just go straight to it. He said, yielding to serene, yielding to serene all motorist emergency vehicle and pedestrian are required to promptly yield to the sound of serene from the presidential escort vehicle. Failure to comply may lead to response from the EPS to neutralize potential threats. Now let's go to the neutralized war here.
Potential threats.
Yeah, potential threat. Let's go to the neutralized war here. It said to prevent it from having an effect. So if any of these things are being neutralized, does not necessarily mean they're going to kill somebody.
No,
but
you gotta tell us. You gotta tell us what that.
Okay, that's what we're telling you now. Now you open your ears and listen. No, don't tell me no.
Those are your words. Those are your words.
No, that book that white people wrote the thing.
They're not white people.
Let me finish it. Let me finish. Let me finish, Mr. So the thing I'm reading are not from Total. It says that.
Oh, you're not from Total tonight?
No, I said they're not from. I'm always from Nova County anyway. They said to prevent it from having an effect or from working properly. It does not mean to take away people's life.
No.
There's so many ways that they can neutralize. For example, they can put a chain with nails on the road, and those vehicles can be stopped.
No.
That's many ways. So don't come here, come play CDC.
But Lagos, read the second one to them. Read the second one. Okay. It's clearer there.
Yeah, okay. Enforcement measure, it says. Okay, enforcement. The EPS will use all necessary legal means to address any potential threat to the presidential monarchy.
No.
Violator will be detained and hand over to the National Police for prosecution. CDC will not read that one there.
They will not read that one.
This is the kinds of problem they
will
have.
not read that one.
They let them put their foot in your mouth every day, and we have to help them. We will train them. We will train them, and we will educate them.
CEO.
Thank you.
CEO, let me just make one little point of interjection here. If I were advisor to the president on national security, I will tell the president this issue is classified. It should be among the security forces member.
They had the public will know now. You classify that. The man advising the public to be careful. Then
these type of statement. These are dictatorial statements. You don't make you frighten the
person who want bring better yara. The person who preaching for better yara. Telling the president dictatorial statement.
You frighten the population, and this is a violation of Liberian human rights.
Show me what law. What law does this statement violate?
That is
neutralize.
Listen,
the man who have understanding on the matter. He's speaking.
More, let's bring this.
So Liberians don't have the right to move around freely anymore under the government.
Look at that. He's jumping from the Empire State Building without parachute tonight, and I feel bad for him. Yeah.
All right, Lpr, please.
Let me just say
we're not building a bridge right now. Let's bring this to.
Let me just say this. That document.
Give me 1 second. I haven't gone through all of that, but on the surface, I would just want to ask a question here. We all know the services provided by the NSA, EPS, strictly presidential guards protection.
Yes.
This sort of use of this sort of the connotations of that word, when it comes from security personnel, we will neutralize. Now, I'm not sure whether they're going to go further to create any education. This is the problem that we have. There will be no any education. You will not see them going on, or neither the Ministry of Information will come out to tell us precisely this message coming from there that I want my president to be safe. But when we have these bunch of people who are just there to do anything in the interest of certifying their political Goliaths and coming to tell us, say that they're going to neutralize people, I know what it means. When security men say they're going to neutralize you, that neutralize, they could see you as a threat. Maybe you get your hands in your pocket and the thing say you're going to fire at them. We know what police are behavior. I tell you, put your hand up, and if you don't respond in a timely fashion, they can gun you down because they see you as a threat. And it can happen. Where do we take them? Is there any way that these people who have communicated this thing yet? The Lpr is their own. They get so hyper when they see this thing, then it blow their. We don't let things to just blow up like that. And this is where the independent guy, Dr. Malley, is coming in to make these critical. But walk on through this point here. Let's see. What are they really saying?
You already undercut your good question you were bringing by injecting this ridiculous statement from Dr. Malley here tonight.
Mr. Soar, the first thing that is important about that letter is a public alert. That's the title of the letter. Public alert, which means we're advising the public of X, Y, and Z. When they say we're going to neutralize you, doesn't mean that they're going to kill you. They can arrest you, they can seize your vehicle, they can do anything illegal. And it says legal minds and legally that can be done. So let me say this. Since 2013, when I first went to Liberia and did my assessment, I think we had this conversation. The prevalence of people using sarin has been undermined. Even on motorcycles, the motorcyclists using sarin. Taxis using sarin. So as a result, people don't even know who's coming with the sarin anymore. And so these people are interfering with a lot of security matters or emergency matters. This is an alert from the EPS, who is responsible, total responsible for the transportation, the safety of the president, the vice president. So if it's coming from them, they are learning the community. It's just an advice to the community to stay here so that when those vehicles come in, you can get out of the way. And we never saw that as kids growing up. When we heard the siren and Tolman were coming out on the
road,
the roads were clear.
Yeah.
The roads were clear. So this is a security matter, and it can pose security threat because anything that obstruct the escort can be dangerous to the country, creates a national security threat. Anyone that put a car on the road and they block the car and hold the president, they got to respond in a way that you cannot imagine because it threatens the safety of the office of the president and the vice president. No. So the alert is in place.
No way.
And they're doing that to begin the educational process of the general public.
I agree. How Dr. Mada, you keep saying no. How will you neutralize somebody that you say we will arrest you?
You can arrest someone by neutralize someone by arresting them and impounding their vehicle.
Exactly.
Right off the street. It doesn't mean you killed them. And we got to understand how we interpret words, especially so insecurity.
We're going to come back here. Guarantee me.
Insecurity, there's certain language you use, and people will interpret it differently in other occupations. Okay. So you cannot do it. That's why they took the name force out of the police. I think the liberal can remember when we were kids growing up, it always used to be the Liberian police force. And it took Edwin Luzon Hammer to take that word force out because police does not apply force. That's why they changed it to national police.
So, Dr. Malley,
yeah,
so
we're going to come back.
You guys, but I think if your mind is set for that, and you took me off the other things I wanted to talk about.
No, that's fine. I mean,
that's the whole niche of what that letter means. So let's not misinterpret the letter and misinform our people.
No, we are just seeking more clarification. Will we come back here to let me ask you, will we come back here at some point down the road to make to give excuses, to give some political correction based on this content? Do you think this has reached out to the folks, to these men and women who are providing these services in terms of what to neutralize, the skills, things to do? Do you think they have done that well? Or will we come back here again tomorrow and give justifications of their action when it's done wrongly?
No. You see, good question. I see a very good question. Now, the biggest responsibility right now is to continue to educate the general public on how this process is going to take place. And so that alert doesn't need to only stop at that moment where you send the letter out. But the alert needs to go through the police department to educate the general public. The general public needs to understand that you need to respect when the siren is coming, especially when the president is there. Those are the sirens. Certain vehicles you see coming, and you know that's an alert. The advanced vehicle gives you the alert. So why would you want to obstruct that? You see, so the education process needs to start because, like I said earlier, everybody uses siren. Everybody, motorcycle, broken up Tyson's got siren on it. And that's something, and those things are only important. And even legislators, even judges got siren. And that's one of the things that I don't think is really necessary. All the vehicles with emergency alert equipment on there are totally unnecessary because you're not in an emergency.
All right, we are out of time. Terry.
Yeah.
So these are very sort of critical conversation. People might not like it, but we know how our people can abuse power. They use authority to wrongfully, and at the end of the day, they give justification. That's it. Every man get a late channel on their car. Everybody going. Now, do you think?
Let me ask you a question. You've been in Rhode Island forever. Have you seen Jack Reed come with any siren?
No.
Exactly. Exactly.
But
Your
you get
senator,
all
the
your
representative
senator.
never use siren.
His sister there, the other day they went for funeral and somebody just brought that up. They went for funeral. I don't know who holding that. I think you brought that up, right? And say the other broom man where all his straw fell into. You remember that when we brought that up?
Yeah.
That's Samson's sister. Nyomdi Kanga Lauren, who is a pro team now. You have people using this heavy range weapon in a country where you have thousands of ex-combatants who are not properly demobilized.
Exactly.
These people can even take those guns from there and cause damage, but they don't talk about it. But Terry, with this here, do you think they're going to take all necessary precaution, tolerance, the last resort in terms of this person or whoever potentially could be doing something, it might be an imminent danger? Or are they going to use that data to brutalize people because somebody, maybe because sometimes you don't even know which siren is it. Everywhere there's siren everywhere.
Mr. So, President Walker is not that kind of person to brutalize people. You know, if you notice, the convoy killed somebody. I think somebody died from the scene, road crossing, and thing before the convoy when President Walker became president. Knew it. But what I also want to add that Mr. Sigbe is not ready say, and Lpr-Tv did not say. It says here that EPS to neutralize potential threat.
Okay.
The word neutralize also means to kill or destroy. Go to the dictionary. Inclusive. So let us not try to beautify all
so
things.
Does that mean cattle were right?
No, that does not mean cattle were right. But what I'm trying to say is that they gave 2 points. Those 2 points explain to you what the intentions will be like. Like even in the United States of America.
But Terry, your explanation, your definition is completely out of order because you have to define. You have to define. Hold on. You got to define the word in the context. You have to define the word in the context that it was used.
Liberal, you are giving your part of one story and nobody Terry never interrupted you. This is the problem you guys have. Everything you say,
let me do it for you. Let me define the word for you.
But define it in the context of this paper, not in just.
You keep your own context.
Yeah. Defining it in the context of the paper. Liberal, we have to tell the people what the truth is and make it explicit because we're on the network and all of that. The word neutralize in a police setting, it also means to eliminate. That is why it says potential threat. That means anybody who is trying to attack the president. It doesn't literally mean that somebody will be riding a motorcycle, then the people start killing you. No, that's what it means. That is
it also doesn't mean the individual. It can be the equipment used, the vehicle used,
definitely,
or the motorcycle used.
I agree with you. It means so many things, but all inclusive. My point is that everything is considered, including killing. Everything is considered, including killing.
To diffuse the situation, to get rid of the situation.
Yeah. So if there is a potential threat on the vice president's life or the president's life, the EPS can eliminate that threat.
But that's not the context here. That's not what this man is talking about.
They would eliminate the threat and up to no limitation. If this person is armed and they attack, they will eliminate you.
Why are you saying yes now?
Because this is but what Moses is saying is not what the man is saying here. Listen to this. He said wishes to alert the general public to heighten the safety measures surrounding the president and vice president.
Correct.
Of the increased intrusion. Of the increased intrusion and unsafe behavior. He didn't say criminal behavior. He said unsafe behavior by unauthorized motorists, emergency vehicle, and pedestrian.
So, okay,
Now,
quickly here.
if unauthorized motorist and the emergency didn't want to gonna carry a gun in there, speak about that, define it in a context for which it was written.
You never know what the threat is.
That's what I'm saying. There is something they call potential threat. And I think the security analyst,
okay, guys,
a potential threat could be, but even in America here,
you're right.
Even in America here, when the police put that syringe up and you try to violate to run, they can chase you and they can neutralize you if you are a potential threat in the United States of America.
So even Terry, this old man, he's bad for the country. This something told me he's very bad for the country. So, like in the case, Terry, you need to end your point.
When I retire, I'm going to be the national advisor, political and economic, not economic, but political and national security advisor to the incoming president, Mr. So let me just let you know now. This is the position I'm going to preach. So let me just tell you right now. So whether you like it or not, this is the position I'm going for, and that's what I'm going to get. So that I will make sure you guys are educated properly on this stuff.
You see? Who the incoming
president? You know what? If Labour become the advisor to the president, that president will be very good. Because Labour will tell the president, say, to be honest, he will tell the president, say, you know what, the thing that happened to the Capitol building, call the people and talk to them like a father. That how you will be. You're not going to be dealing with politics all the
time. But you see what I was talking about here.
Can I do my closing first?
Yeah, but hold on.
Who are you to can't give closeness? We don't see you.
We don't want
to buy all day.
Because you can't throw that letter out and miss it in the letter.
You know, ridiculous stuff that
hold on, guys. I'm going to leave you guys. People, we can't do this.
See, let him come on the Liberal show
all
tomorrow.
Of these things we were talking, we had this conversation. You remember the guy who entreated when the president was to this Rawafi Highway to this university? The guy who went, I don't know whether you were going to.
Yeah, he went and we talked about
is such a people like that, they can easily gun you down because we don't know what going on.
Right.
These are things we talk. No, don't shake your head. You just drink your juice. All right. These are things you're talking about here, but you feel you are the owner of the president. So
that the bullshit talking like that. Just drink your juice like talking a little baby. Like the bullshit talking like that.
I don't speak for that. Yeah, man, you do something. Okay, guys, let's wrap it up. Keto, you want to go 1 minute, please? We are way over time.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Look. You can go to the website dictionary, you can go anything. Security-wise, anything that calls for neutralizing, when I say neutralize, is to get rid of, and especially neutralizing will go to a human being. We neutralize the threat, means we kill the individual that was causing threat. When they say we will disable the vehicle, they will disable the vehicle. That's everything is specific in security. So nobody on the island did it on the security plan, but we got some level of security. But I tell you my amount of years in, I don't want to disclose my operation, but I'll tell you when the security man said we would be neutralized, it means the try to be killed.
Down water side, Lebanese men security. Now you come and bring on here. Thank you, man.
You need to take this statement and show it to a white person or not white person.
Wow, white.
Because I feel you were serving.
That's an
Why
a white person?
Advise the public because in the security, we know the security detail. Any man that posts trust in the president, they gotta be neutralized. You can't come out into the public to say at this point like this. Educate the society. When the Serene is moving, when the presidential convoy is moving, please, motorists, stay off the road. When you start introducing these kind of things, these strong statements to our society, and knowing the kind of people we have, it sends a different message. What they're telling us today is they are getting ready to eliminate some people because they have started everything in Liberia. Who driving the tyranny in Liberia? Representatives and senators on the third lane. They are the ones that got siren going. Representative senators who also do that. Even the police director. Even anybody who in government, Lpr-Tv director that driving car more out of there, all car horn on the car going win. Are you going to eliminate those people when the president company is coming and they're passing it around? No, I think they are trying to target other lawmakers who they don't want
Listen.
In a second, they're gonna start targeting them. They're gonna start targeting other people because Pepe rather than always on the street.
Thank you so
we
much.
have ball hit up Pepe rather.
Okay, we gotta go catch up.
And one of the escort broke his foot.
Catch up.
So
thank you so much.
So, thank you so much, Mr. Tour.
Okay, I guess Mr. Nangwe coming, so I don't know what would be a closing remark.
No, I just came. How you doing? I just came to check on my brother who joined me last night. You know, on the other side. That's all. That's what I came for.
Oh, okay. All right. So we are way out of time now. We just been having another headache. I have to take Talanoia tonight as usual. Labor. Anytime you on with him, you're forced to take some migraine stuff. Yeah, Terry. I don't know why your man disrupted you, but you want to go? You want to go first or most?
No, let me go first. I'll leave him.
Okay, Dr. Mali. Okay.
Yes. You guys will agree to me that the illiterate rate in our country is very high. Now, the interpretation of this thing, I can tell you right now, they are taking an opinion trend in Liberia. People are thinking differently anyway, right? And secondly, the low education of these security forces guys is of concern. This is just another form of impunity in our country. If you have top information security for the president, how to protect him, these are classified things. You keep it. In the United States here, you can make that statement in a country. I have not even heard the kind of statement in a country before in the first place. I have never even heard the kind of statement in Liberia. Well, under all the other presidents, I stand to be corrected. I have not even heard the kind of thing. This is the first time. Assuming the statement was made under Joe, we are government. It was going to be another bushfire. That thing is pure and short. We should not find shortcut to it. People were killed unnecessarily in our place there, in the need of protecting the president, and it was a risk to the president. This is what's going to happen in our country. So this announcement, you as a veteran security agency, you keep it. You keep it to yourself. You don't release it to the public. Now everybody is hanging on now on that issue of neutralize. You see, people not even care to read the rest of it again because that's why illiteracy does. So what you do, you keep all your security detail to yourself. The security arrangement in that time is simple. Get down and shout at the people to move on the road. Send an advance. Yeah, that what happened. Yeah, you send an advance motorcade. Tell the people to leave the road. The president coming. That is our level there. All right. But when you start to say this kind of thing, first of all, you frighten the society. Secondly, it's threatening to human rights. Thirdly, it infringe on free movement of the people of Liberia. And fifthly, these are dictatorial security pronouncements. They're not necessary for a fragile security setting that we are running in Liberia. They should have kept it. Thank you. I'll see you.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Mali. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Let me come in though too. The first thing is that these things are not classified. You're trying to alert the public of their interference in the escort of the president and the threat level it raises.
I said I would have advised.
Well,
I thought you said you are leaving.
But Mr. Mali, the thing about it, there's certain things the public needs to know because this was intended to educate and to alert the public.
You see,
because
juicy drinking.
If they didn't get water, he's gone. This document, as I stated, was to alert the public and educate them. As far as the illiteracy rate is concerned, what Dr. Mali just said, he just told Keller was illiterate because he didn't read the full document. He only picked one word, which is neutralization, to neutralize people. And what happened? We saw the Ronald Reagan, and they've shown that over and over. When there was a threat at the hotel in Washington, D.C. on Ronald Reagan, what did they do? They went after the person, and this guy never died, and he was arrested and put in jail. One of his detective, one of his security guys, one of his partner was even shot. The Brady bill went through, okay? And that's how the Brady law was put in place. So when you do these things, you're alerting the community. And I hope that we could do more education in this, in especially for the security sector and the general public in that country. And that is one of my wish for this administration, to do more training for our fragile security system. We got to understand, and I cannot say this enough, we saw that most of the people that were employed in the security sectors were ex-combatants during the Charleston administration. And I'm sure that there were some of those people stay in the security sector to today's date and have not received any innovative or informed training thereafter. And they call themselves security personnel and stay working for police and other security sector. Ellie came in and she protected herself with ECOWAS forces. So the security sector was never touched. To say training or other thing, they may have done some little training here and there, but continuous training. And that's why in security and policing, it's required for you to have training every year. It's required. Because as things evolve, your knowledge needs to evolve with those things. As criminals evolve, you need to evolve. So this is a serious security matter, and it's been going on in the country with everyone having siren. And I told the Minister of Justice, Ellen, and she said, well, we're going to impound all the cars that got siren on it. You can't do that. You need to see the port of entry. Who's bringing in the siren? The Chinese people bringing in the siren. You need to inspect those containers and make sure it's not coming into the country. And those are some of the things that raises the security threat. So I will close on that, and I'm sure that we're going to have this conversation. This is going to be an ongoing conversation. And thank you. I think it was a good show. Hopefully the general public will learn from some of these things and not misinterpret these letters or these alerts or these announcements, whatever you want to call it. And we will do our due diligence through the security sector to really start educating people and educating the security guys themselves.
Thank you so much.
Mr. So, I gave all my 5 minutes to Mr. Nagbe plus his own 5 minutes. That's 10 minutes. Good night.
Thank you, Libra.
Thank you, my new brother on my side. Appreciate that.
Nothing to say. Terrence, let's hear you quickly.
Yeah. Dr. Mali.
Yeah, Nambo just do a summary of his 1 year, the excellency, 1 year, and you kind of profile. What you give to him, you can't take it back. So when he start talking, when it doesn't go your way,
I gave money. I'm going to call Tabata my government. I'll take back my money.
Once you give me the time, it's locked up. You can't get it back.
Hey, your majority black. And they say when people sign, you can't go again. You get.
No, you can take your signature back.
Okay, Charlie, let's hear you quickly.
Yeah, Mr. So it's just fair enough for us to be very fair with the government. The information in that letter is compacted enough with everything for you to understand your position. Like what Mr. Sigbe said, all the government now need to do is to foster it by informing the public, by educating the people, public awareness. You got to keep doing public awareness on the radio by, posters and all of that. Yeah. You can't just say, post it on the executive website and hope that everybody in the country read it. There are plenty of people who can read. You have to do public awareness. You have to give the information on the radio, let the news spread, that people should know what to do if the presidential convoy is in motion. However, Keto then claimed that, flip-flopping, blah, 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 all of that. Then you have now been following my analysis on the show on many times. people can have divisive tendencies and they can still be successful in government. Like Trump is the divisive. He got some divisive tendencies, but today the American people elected him as president. So what I'm saying is that people need to learn how to differentiate a person's self weaknesses from their ability to work. Even Madam Sirleaf, she has some tendencies in her that were not correct. She looked at the people from Grand Judah and put them in jail for something that was done to her by different group of people. Those are not good. Those are not things. And she herself regretted that one of her failure in her administration, she failed to reconcile the country. So my advice to President Boca is that he has to put away his differences. I understand that you can have anger problem that maybe when he fell off, President Weah walked out and went and got in the plane and traveled. Maybe that made him angry. But you have to put your differences aside in order to make sure that the country foster. Because one of your legacy here that you setting here is that you have two presidents. Honor your leadership. They are depending on you to lead them. And these two presidents, they are sophisticated enough to destabilize your entire government. So any African leader, for that matter, having two former presidents under them, especially a country that went into war and have dark days with former combatants all over the place, you have to have patience. You have to be moderate. You have to bury your ego and create some opportunity to settle. The aspect of the impasse at the House, we all said it here. There are so many ways President Boga could interfere. We're not talking about interfering in front of the camera. We're talking about calling your people on the phone and talking to them. Even if they don't listen to you, you make an attempt. That President Weah, he called Thomas Fala stay deflected. You could still do that. Even if it did not succeed, you can still, what African political leaders do, they play behind the scene. They do not come in front. They do not allow everybody to see them. I thought President Boca revealed himself too much in this whole impasse and thereby have left the public with no restraint, but to think that he's the one mastermind the whole thing.
Right.
Richard Kuhn getting in the plane to go with you was not necessary. You could still play the ball from behind the scene. And that is how I expected it to have been. But he opened up and he exposed himself too soon. Thank you, David.
Okay, so Mr. Nambwe, give us 3 minutes. Just sum it up, cap it up. I guess you've been following, but basically, the first 1 year anniversary of the president out of the what do you make of that?
Well, it's good to be here, and again, my regrets. I joined you guys so late. I was tied up, but I don't know how much you discussed because I didn't have the opportunity of listening in while I was, doing what I was doing. But if we to reflect on the president's 12 years, I'll be honest, all jokes aside, I am sitting here bewildered, shocked that 12 months in, we will all have so much difficulties, enumerating these government's successes, probably not even on one hand of my finger, on the 5 fingers of my one hand. And that is, we'll all be hard pressed to count the areas of success by this government. Whereas, the flops, the mistakes, the false starts, we can probably count them on both of our hands and all of our toes. And I'm still in shock because, as I have said here, I have been hard on this government only because I believe that it has the capacity to do better than it is doing. I'm just really kind of disappointed. I don't know if you went through, where they may have succeeded, but I have been sitting down since the anniversary hit. I can't come up with anything noteworthy that I can say, you know what, they did a lot of good here. I can't. But on the other hand, we can go from the inauguration itself, where the president was so badly handled that
somebody blow his body right. Somebody blood is boiling right now. Why did I get my meat down for the neck? Go ahead.
I appreciate my new brother, on the other side.
I tried to neutralize him, but that didn't work.
5 more minutes. 5 more minutes.
So here we are, Mr. So on the anniversary. And what are we talking about? Another flop. How can a government talk about neutralizing its citizens? What does that even mean? Couldn't they have used a better terminology? Prosecuted, at least, to the full extent of the law, and leave it there? They got to tell us they will neutralize people. What does it mean to neutralize a Liberian by a Liberian government?
This group of people that we see them, they just wear their fitty dye shades, they're looking in the air.
I'm telling you,
they're going to kill people children down there for no reason. And something told will come here and give justification for everything.
How can a government talk about neutralize citizens? What does that mean? So here we are, 1 year in on the anniversary, where we're saying, okay, hopefully they're turning a new page. Let's reset and start all over. And how are they starting the new year? Another round. This guy just got dismissed today. I think the news is out. I'm sure you talked about that, just for speaking out at the funeral.
Yeah. And who was talking about free press? Somebody spoke at a funeral.
At a funeral.
Quick, they not do after suspension, all the other investigation, they no hated. They quick, they want here Joseph Bakana conclude investigation. The next thing we saw, they dismiss.
Quick. And for those of us who have done burials here, you will know that they can't even put up the cornerstone because the grave has to dry. Prince Johnson, if his grave has not even dried up yet.
In our grave, by way.
People are already, heads are already rolling. Because somebody got on stage and expressed what thought Prince Johnson was feeling. Where is the freedom of expression that this government is boasting of?
What would this mean to people of Nimba County?
Exactly.
Thank you.
The man's a security man. He can't be singing, talking.
Deborah, you can't leave the show while the show is still in progress, please. You can tell us thank you.
He's not leaving because I'm holding on to his time. Right now, he and I are bonded together. We're tied to the hip.
So can you yield? Can you yield back your time? My time?
No.
Are you begging me for it?
We already cashed it in. Okay, guys.
So I can give you back 1 minute. No, I mean I'm grateful. I'm here to join you guys tonight. I wish I had come early. I'm sure you did justice to the topic. Thank you very much.
Tomorrow. I like to talk about volleyball a little bit. You know me tomorrow.
Absolutely. Let's do that tomorrow.
All right, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys very much.
Good night. Good night.
Our parents don't have jobs. We don't employ we working. We'll talk about our parents like a warning letter. We'll talk about one people that give a warning letter. We're going to talk about one people that brought in the minister, empty and things that will talk.
So who are they?
All of them.
Well, you gotta be
I said all of them.
Money a person will be addressing the nation. Money a person will be addressing the nation. You will be speaking more about corruption, the rule of law.
Corruption. Now whatever I go rob, I tell you appointed. After Joseph Bagan, after Joseph speech, a reshuffle. Because another guy reshuffle going for everybody.
So Queen Johnson.
Please. Let's send it to please. Don't call me and take it, please. Look at John spoke. That he can't also will protest. Our minister and the next person behind Luther. And when Luther talking, and we're on a big show. We're on a talking, our big show. Our motherland people who will go from ministry to ministry. Our people deserve better. Our parents that suffer to bring the government to power, they deserve better. Our parents need to pay due. They will not die, I pay due. They pay due, bring the party up. But you bring us other people, our parents are begging for crumbs. When you come to the party, get 100 million only pay you for $5. We want it. We want it. We don't want it. And it's time our policy. Our policy. The joint piece of the cake. They suffer for.
So are you saying that since your party is going to power, they are not giving the policy job? That's what you saying?
Few policy. My job was are not working. They're not giving a job. We got people there. You had the right to bar. When you go to ministry or go talk, you got to go talking. We not here for little politics, though. They will get to that. Little party make you minister. Little party make you empty. Little party make you director. You know. You got people like here that suffer to bring the government to power. They didn't get rent to pay. They get stupid for their children. But you play us a lot there, that boss is showing arms and get us out of them married.
Holding all accountable in their own words. Well, that's what happened. Have a pleasant good night. Bye-bye.